Ever wake up one day and realize everything feels off? I woke up one day and realized I was living a life that I didn't create for myself. So I burnt it to the ground. What's up, everybody? My name is Malaya Kishora, and welcome to the Rebirthing 8-part series. So, my Rebirthing series is me sharing my journey as I walk into my light as a healer. So, I am a licensed clinical therapist, a certified comedic yoga instructor, and a trauma-informed therapist, trauma certified therapist. But I don't consider myself just a therapist. I consider myself a soul surgeon. I feel like this work I'm doing is very multidimensional, and it's not just one segment of the human psyche or reality. We're focusing on an array of things, including quantum physics, metaphysics, spirituality, psychology, everything you can put all into one. And so I'm here to really immerse myself into this world, put myself out here, be more visible, stop hiding. I'm done with that hiding. Okay, we out here to really heal souls and wake humanity up so we can see our true healing potential. All right, y'all, let's go. Let's do this. I saw a comment a few years back, and I'm going to butcher the exact verbiage of the comment, but we're not here to be perfect, okay? But basically, they were saying, like, basically, after the pandemic, Americans have lost their minds. And I am in complete and total agreement, y'all. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying that to be serious. It's actually pretty sad. I feel like I've worked in so many different settings. I worked at a middle school. I've worked at a community college. I've worked in a domestic violence shelter. I've worked at private practice. I've worked in community counseling. And when I tell you, people are really going through it. There is severe levels of trauma that people are experiencing, severe generational curses, family issues, deep-rooted family issues, deep-rooted family inherited trauma that's being passed down and constantly projected. We have environmental factors. Our food is being poisoned, y'all. Chemtrails, they're spraying chemtrails on our products, and it's just so weird. All the chemicals, the red dye, there's so many things going on. Let's talk about the obesity crisis. I'm not going into everything super deeply, but I'm just talking about what's going on in the world. We also have poverty. Like y'all know what's going on. It is a struggle out here. Poverty. Why is there an attack on humanity? We have gun violence. I mean, I hear people talk about the youth killing each other, but what about the police killing Black people and nobody's doing anything about it? Right? What is going on with all of this? It's so much corruption that's happening, political corruption. I mean, come on now. It's actually ghetto. And the question is, why? I feel like that's a different conversation for a different day. I feel like right now, I'm trying to, I'm looking at so many people. The suicide rate is so high. I mean, talk about social media. I remember I had a client, she was really struggling with suicidal ideation. And she told me she would spend 8 hours on TikTok just scrolling, laying in her bed. And so I'm like, girl, get outside, go walk. And so her suicidal ideation completely went away. But there is an extreme epidemic against humankind right now. Depression rates are extremely high. Anxiety. So many people are struggling on a soul level right now. And I'm here to help us make sense of it, help us heal through it, help us move through it, because I was in that same place. As y'all seen at my, good comedy scene at the beginning. But seriously, I woke up one day and I'm like, what is happening right now? Okay, what's going on? Because my life, I'm not feeling this. I didn't choose this life for myself. Somebody else put me in a box and said this is how I have to live, and I was like, I decided I can't do it anymore. I'm done. If you're feeling that way, or if you know about that feeling, of that this kind of resonates with you, go ahead on and just subscribe, y'all. Just go ahead on, hit that subscribe button, hit that like. Come on, bring that love on over here. I'm here for it. You here for it. Let's do it. Period. So that's how I felt. I felt like I was actually dying a slow death. Like, if I'm being real, like I felt like I was slowly but surely withering away. Okay, it was getting out of control. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to work. I really don't like what I'm doing. I loved helping clients and I love working with people. I feel like it makes me feel good, but in the way in which I was doing it, I'm like, this is burning me out. Okay, it's burning me out. And I just started realizing, I'm like, I have more to share and more to give. And when I would go to work, y'all, I would have severe anxiety. Like, I would be so stressed out, like damn near having panic attacks at my job. And I would just be like, when I would come home, I would go home and be smoking and shit, smoking like too much, and I'm not here to say I'm against smoking. Whoa. That's not what I'm saying. But I believe in the way in which I was doing it, it was unacceptable. Like, it was harming me. It was hurting me. I was numbing myself out because the weight of everything was just too much. I had my own trauma that I was trying to work through, and I'm helping people with severe trauma. Like, when I say people are going through severe things, severe sexual abuse, severe physical abuse, severe narcissism, severe emotional abuse, these things really pile up. And so I just felt like, and two, hold on, wait. I was gaining weight, okay, y'all. My heaviest weight, we gotta talk about that. My heaviest weight, I ain't even gonna tell y'all right now. But I was just like, I felt like I was like almost 30-40 pounds over my just like normal weight. And I'm like, this is getting out of control. And like I said, I felt like I was slowly dying. I felt like I couldn't really do things for real. Like, I was just working and paying bills. Like, I was making, like I said, good money, but it was good enough to make sure my bills were paid. Like, that's it. And at this point, I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I living for? Because I'm not living right now. I'm dying. And it was not okay. And according to Carl Jung, he is a psychologist. He's one of those, like really well-known psychologists. But he said something that I was reading it and I was like, man, this is so real. He was like, when you are experiencing severe anxiety, it's because you're not in alignment with your soul's path. Your soul is like, no, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I really took that to the heart, and I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm burning it all to the ground. I'm burning it up. Burning it down. Okay. Burning it. Okay. Wow. So I'm just burning it all to the ground. And that's literally what I did. I burnt my whole life to the ground. I said, I'm done with this. I cut off people that I felt like were toxic. And I kind of realized everybody in my life was low-key emotionally abusive. And it wasn't like they were like this on purpose. I kind of, I study society. I study society from a holistic perspective. And then I see that we have this macrocosm, but it plays out in microcosms. Our society is extremely emotionally abusive. I'm going to talk about Black people, brown people, because we're not Black, we're brown. But brown people, if you look at society and what has happened, brown people have went through slavery, have went through severe bondage, the Jim Crow period, a period of not even being citizens, being considered 3/5 of a person. But guess what, y'all? This has kind of been swept under the rug. This isn't what America talks about in school. It's called gaslighting, right? So our macro society is basically, everybody is playing out what they're seeing from a macro level, and it's not conscious, it's unconscious. So I don't blame people for how they have acted. I do, but I don't, because I'm understanding this is a societal construct that we're living in, a matrix. And so going back to everybody being low-key, narcissistic, and emotionally abusive, I was dating this guy. I was at the job, friends, it was just so much. Everybody wants to put me in a box. And I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm jumping out my timeline, okay? I am moving and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I'm jumping out the timeline. And so that's what I did. I ended up quitting my job. I cut everybody off, and I just kind of went MIA. Like, that's literally what I did. Let's take a deep breath, y'all, because it changed my whole life. I decided to shift my identity. And y'all, we got to talk about how I did that. Like, I talked about these different modalities that we're going to be talking about, but y'all, we're going to get into a little bit of depth as we go through the Rebirthing series. I'm going to break down like each aspect of how I transform my life, because how I'm transforming my life, how I'm doing soul surgery, how I've done soul surgery on myself. So we're going to go into some declassified information from the CIA, okay? Because, the CIA, Central Intelligence something Association. Hold on. Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA. So in 1983, they were doing an experiment on human consciousness, you guys. Oh my gosh. And they discovered some crazy things. They called this program the Gateway Process. And I am going to link everything in the pinned comments so you can read the article and the documentation within the article of the declassified information. And so they basically discover that human consciousness, we can bend reality at our will, y'all, through altered state of consciousness, meditation, through certain frequencies, 432 hertz, 528 hertz, and also focused intention. So that's what I did. I focused on changing my reality. I focused on completely shifting my identity. And they were studying the quantum field. They understood that we have access to tap into the quantum realm and basically shift our reality from it. But we don't have this information. Like, y'all, the CIA, the government, whoever, y'all doing all these experiments, but nobody is telling us what's going on because you're using it against us. This is warfare against humanity. Going deeper into my journey, y'all. So this has been like a 7-year journey for me. Like, I started meditating back in 2016. Well, I mean, technically, it's not been a 7-year journey. It's been like a 9-10-year journey, to be honest. But I started meditating in 2016. And that was a game changer, and I started implementing that in my work with clients. When I was in grad school, in 2016, and I graduated in 2018. And so then I got my Kemetic yoga certification, and that was a game changer because it really started to teach me how our body holds trauma. And let's talk about what trauma is, because people think like, oh, trauma is no big deal, but the body keeps the score. And when I say it, I mean it, because so many people go to the doctor about health issues and all these things, but nobody is recognizing that the body is holding the issue. A lot of doctors are now starting to say like it's psychosomatic, it's somatic. And what that means is that it's not just, it's more so mental and physical, right? It's not just this is a physical ailment, which practically is everything, to be honest. Everything holds some type of emotion in it. And so Kemetic yoga is really about aligning your spinal column. So aligning your spinal column and healing the trauma out of your spine through your breath. Your breath is the most powerful tool is one of the most powerful tools that you have, using your breath and breathing with intention in a certain way. And so getting into Kemetic yoga really helped me to kind of understand that we hold a lot of emotions in our body. And I use yoga as a tool to breathe those emotions out. And so when you have emotions and trauma stuck in your body, you consciously cannot, you can consciously think like, oh my God, I'm the most powerful person in the world. I'm a millionaire, da 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 da. But if it's stuck in your body, your vibration is going to be low. So because of the trauma or the abuse is keeping you in these patterns, these traumatic loops of kind of staying in the same cycle. And so you might think like, oh, I'm this, but your body is stuck here. And your body is a part of your subconscious. So your subconscious is 90% more powerful than your conscious mind. So you might think you're up here, but energetically your vibration is extremely low because everything is stuck in the body, and the body is going to hold everything. The body ain't going to lie to you. It's going to keep the score. Anything that you buried and you push down is stuck in the body. I really got into womb healing work. Y'all, I can't even go into all of that right now. That's going to be another video for another day. That's one of my biggest healers, biggest game changers. Like talking about the body keeps the score, and the womb holds the score, right? Especially if you've experienced sexual abuse. That is the portal, and that's where all the emotions, everything is stored. So that womb healing work has been a game changer. So I got into running, and running is a form of bilateral stimulation. So there was research shown that when you are in fight or flight, so if your amygdala is like on 10 and you're like basically in survival mode right now, and your prefrontal cortex is not as active, or not active at all, because when your limbic system is on point, which your amygdala is a part of, then your prefrontal cortex is down. Okay, the blood is flowing in one area of the brain and not the other. And so your prefrontal cortex, that is the part of the brain when you're 25, it officially develops. So for your young folks, your prefrontal cortex is not developed, but that part of your brain regulates like your logic thinking, your planning, reasoning, being able to make conscious decisions, right? According to the research, your prefrontal cortex, when you like stimulate your right and your left side of the brain, which is what running does, it stimulates both sides of the brain because you're bah, 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 bah. But that basically instantly activates your prefrontal cortex and starts to bring you out of that fight or flight, which is so powerful. And that's really what I needed. Like I said, when you experience severe trauma or experience things, you are naturally going to be in fight or flight. You're going to naturally have higher levels of cortisol, which is our stress emotion. I have also utilized fasting. Oh my gosh. Fasting has been a game changer, y'all. I used to fast, like do raw vegan fast or like maybe 1 day intermittent fasting, but now I have done extended fasting. I am currently on a 21-day fast of water and sea moss, and I consume like cucumber water and things like that. But fasting is definitely one of those modalities to incorporate in your journey to help wake your soul up. I have also incorporated crystals. Oh my gosh, crystal healing. Crystals are a part of helping to raise your frequency, help to bring you certain different energies depending on the type of crystal you use. This is a rose quartz crystal. And if you're interested in more crystals, you can definitely check my link in the description, and it's going to be in the pinned comment. I have my collection that I can share with you guys. If you're interested, definitely check it out. Mwah. So something else that I have been doing that I feel like has literally, I feel like everything I'm saying has been game changers, but this has been like, when I say a real game changer, period, real. So y'all, I've been doing I incorporate magic mushrooms or psilocybin, which is an active component that are in magic mushrooms that make you no, I'm just kidding. No, because if I'm being honest with you, they're not really that fun to me. Magic mushrooms, when people like do it just to like kick it and stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's not where I'm at with them. They're very much for healing. There's so much research in the psychological. There's so much research in the psychology field regarding psilocybin, and it helps with people who are struggling with trauma, addictions, depression, anxiety, because what they do is that they basically help you to create new neural pathways. So if your neural pathways are constantly going in the same loop, and usually when you have trauma or addiction, right, it's going in the depression, it's going in the same loop. Like, so your neural pathways, they go the same way to keep you in the same loop. But when you do shrooms, it helps you to process that, and it helps you to soften your ego so that it helps you to process and it helps you to create new neural pathways. And so when I tell you, it has been a game changer for helping me heal through my trauma, helping me to access my soul. I was talking to one of my spiritual teachers a while ago, and he encouraged me to do shrooms, which I was already doing them at that point. But he was basically saying that they take you into the fourth dimension, which is the dimension of kind of like the spiritual internet where everything is there. It's like the astral realm. The astral realm is where we go when we're sleeping. Your thought forms are there. Your emotions that you store in your body are in the astral realm. The different scenes or energy that is within those emotions are in the astral realm. And so it takes you into the astral realm from your soul, so you're able to see, wow, this is what this emotion has done to me. This is how it's affecting me. This is the image that comes up for me when I'm having this emotion. It's very, very powerful work. I'm not going to lie to you. If I'm being honest, I definitely will say I feel like shrooms are like an alien species that came to help us, help humanity wake up and help us to, kind of realize that we're all one. If you've done shrooms, you already know it's going to be like we're all one. So if you're interested in trying shrooms out, or like, kind of taking your journey to the next level, link in the description. I got the research. I got it all for y'all. Okay. Whatever you need, I got you. Okay. So the last thing that I'm going to add up here, y'all, is quantum jumping. Quantum jumping saved my life. I promise y'all. Like, I feel like it was the last piece to the puzzle, because I feel like everything I was doing, I'm doing like spiritual stuff, but I'm doing physical things, right? But the quantum jumping is what the CIA said. It's how your consciousness can basically shift. You can shift time and space instantly. Hold on. Instantly. Okay, period. And I feel like that's what I did. Like, I feel as though when I started quantum jumping, I really started in January. And once I started quantum jumping, memories of my childhood started to come up. So it was good because I was able to process it, even though it was not, it didn't feel good, but it was good because I was able to process those things. Also, it started to help my identity shift really, really fast. It's almost as if it was like, no, that whole I'm burning it to the ground. That's where the quantum jumps, it really put me in that perspective of, why are we living like this? What are we doing right now? This is not who we are. It tapped me into my higher self, because I kept quantum jumping to my higher self all the time. I'm literally jumping into her. So quantum physics basically proves that when you observe a timeline, or you observe some part of reality, the physical reality is going to have to collapse. That's really what it is, because everything is in the quantum realm. There's no reality that's not possible. You just have to tap into it and observe the one that you want to live in. And once you start to observe it consistently, your physical reality is going to have to follow. Reality flows where consciousness goes. I don't know if I said that right. Look, just making up shit at this point. I might have. I don't know. I'm not going to check it. But what I'm saying is that if you consciously focus on something, your reality is going to have to follow it. So if you're constantly, and that's the thing about people, and I feel like, just being around a lot of people focus so much on negativity. And it's easy. It's everywhere. Like, oh my God, you go to social media, it's everywhere. Like, so much negativity is being spewed at us. But if you focus on negativity, it's going to come back. Basically, you have to act as though you already got it. You got to act as though you're already that. Whatever it is, whatever you want, whoever you got to want to be, you have to become it before it comes to you. And that's how reality goes. When you physically are working super hard, you're almost working against your natural ability of just attracting and becoming. And that's what you have to do. You have to focus on becoming. And that's really what I did. I focused on becoming who I saw myself as, who I knew I was at the core of myself. But I feel like all these practices that I incorporated were very important. Like every single modality that I have added in here, it was a part of how I was able to get to where I'm at. And I felt like my consciousness was very low because of my trauma, and because so much of it was stuck in my body. And that's why the womb healing work and the yoga and all the physical modalities and the running were very, very important. If you have stayed this whole time, come on and just subscribe, join this community, come check me out. And also, oh my gosh, add a plant emoji. Like, what's your favorite plant? Just put that emoji down. And I'll see you next week. Same time. Mwah.